Hi, my loves. It's Elise with Wild Moon Tarot. Happy New Year. Happy 2017. I am so excited that the new year has finally come and it just feels like a fresh slate that we can all get started anew. So I love the magic of New Year's and new beginnings. So welcome to my channel 2017. I am doing my first video of the year with the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge started by Ethany. So we did this last year and it was amazing. And so thank you so much, Ethany, for doing it again. I love the questions that are asked and they're different questions than last year. So I think that's super cool. And let's just get started. I won't be able to do a video every day, so I'm going to do it in chunks like I did last year. Today I'm going to do the first 10 questions, but only because a few of the questions I've already done videos on, so I won't be going through them. So the first question was do a 2017 energy and major lesson reading for myself. So I did my year ahead spread last night. I actually did it at midnight. I laid out the cards and then I turned them over right before midnight, and then I was just like meditating on them and looking at them at midnight when it turned to New Year's. So I know I'm such a party animal. So I did a card for each month and then I did an overall card. And the overall cards for the year were the Queen of Swords. This is the Lumina Tarot, by the way. The Queen of Swords, which I love because I am the Queen of Swords in tarot. If you go based on the astrological associations, I am a Gemini and a Libra rising, so I have those two air signs right there in my personal planets, my major personality planets. So I would be considered a Queen of Swords, although in the Thoth I am a Queen of Cups, which I relate to that as well a lot too. Anyways, so I was really kind of amused that this showed up as my card of the year. I feel like for me, this indicates that my major lesson will be just being myself and learning how to express my truth more clearly, more openly, more fearlessly. I feel like there's an element of confidence here that she embodies, that there's an element of wisdom and trusting her own intuition and her own higher knowledge because she has the hawk there. And she's just a badass. She just does what she wants. She speaks her truth. She's sovereign over her life, which sovereignty was a big word for me last year and continues to be this year. And she also cuts away things that are not in alignment with her truth and with her life. So that is something that I always strive to do and continue to strive to do this year. I just really want to be authentic and true to myself this year and doing the things that I want to do and expressing myself the way that I want to express and not having any fear about sharing certain things and not worrying about what people are going to think of me or, having a certain image or whatever. That's something that's difficult for me sometimes. I'm a people pleaser. So I always think about, well, what is everybody else going to think? That's the Libra. So yeah, this year I feel like the major lesson is for me to be myself and to be fully myself and to be unapologetic in it, to be truthful and graceful and wise and trusting in myself, and yeah, just embodying who I am here on this earth to be instead of worrying about anything else. I also pulled a card for each month and the card of the year with the Color Mage Oracle, which you guys know if you've watched my channel for a while, that this is one of my favorite decks of all time. And so I pulled a color for each month and a color for the year, and the color for the year is Burgundy, Passions and Sex. Yes, please. Thank you. It's also number 1 in the deck. It is the first card of the root chakra. So a lot going on here. Just to get super personal, because I will get super personal later in the video as well. I've been single for a long time and I am ready to not be single anymore. I want a relationship. I desire that. And so to see this come up was very exciting for me because I want this. I want passion. I want sex. I want a relationship. I want love, you know? Being a number 1 card and this being a magician year, I found that to be amusing. Also being a root chakra card, this could indicate that for this year I need to really focus on my root chakra, which was a huge focus for me actually in the fall and winter of 2016. I really was working with and on my root chakra because I was feeling like I really needed to ground and center and be present and focus on that area in order to help calm like all the upper chakra energy and balance that out. So yeah, focus on root chakra this year, focus on relationships, focus on opening that up and experiencing that. So I'm really excited. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So those are my 2 cards of the year overall. And that was question 1. Questions 2, 3, and 4 were the top 5 tarot, top 5 oracle, and top 5 tarot books. Now, I've already done 2 videos on my top tarot decks and top oracle decks of 2016. So I will link those below if you haven't seen them and you want to. And then top 5 books. Honestly, I didn't read any tarot books this year. The only one that I did get was, well, I mean, I got a few, but I didn't read them. I got them used, a lot of them. This one I did buy at Barnes & Noble. It's Tarot History, Symbolism, and Divination by Robert Place. I like it. I like the way that it went into the history of it. And I do like his explanations of the cards, even though they're very short and sweet. They did bring new knowledge to me of some of the symbolism in the cards in the Rider-Waite deck. So I like that one, but that was like really the only tarot book I read. Otherwise, I was reading just like self-development, spirituality, and fiction books, and a lot of witchy books. So, and then number 5 was a stalker card, and I really could not think of a stalker card that I had. I really couldn't. I don't think I really had any card consistently show up throughout the year. Yeah, so I was like, really? There was none? I know last year it was the Knight of Pentacles. He didn't show up for me at all this year. But yeah, I can't think of one. So that's that. Okay, number 6, the deck I finally crossed off my wish list. I'm so excited I finally got this deck. And actually I have 2. I'll do the other one first. The first one is, I've also been wanting this for a while, and it's an oracle deck, and I got it in a trade. I was so excited. Okay, it's the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. I think I talked about this in my December favorites. And it's an astrological deck. It's based on the planets and signs. So I know it's backwards, but like this one is Jupiter in Taurus and its status. So this deck is very hard to find and out of print. It's by John Astrop and Carolyn Smith, and they have a few decks. I want their moon deck as well, that's similar to this, but I really, really wanted this deck, and to have gotten it in a trade, I didn't have to pay an outrageous amount of money for it. It's in amazing condition. It's just so cool. For someone who likes astrology, or even if you don't, if you just like oracles, like it's just such a cool deck. I want to find, here's Intuition. It's so bright. Sorry about the lighting. Speculation. So yeah, I was really excited about this one. And then the other one that I have been wanting forever, but it was just so expensive because it's from New Zealand, and the conversion rate made it more money, and then shipping, and then I wanted to buy it with the book that it came with because I felt like it was important for this deck. So I wanted to buy those at the same time because of shipping. So all in all, I couldn't order this deck for a long time because it was like $150 for both, and I've never spent that much on a deck. But I finally got it, and it was like a Christmas present from me to me. It's the Aura Soma Tarot, and oh my god, it just is everything that I thought it would be and more. Oh man, it's so shiny. The light. The cardstock is amazing. The colors on the deck are amazing. It's a very, very spiritual deck. And what I mean by that is like, it's focused on spiritual work, you know. You could definitely use it for mundane questions as well, because there's so much going on in the cards. There is legitimately so much detail in these cards that they are such a dream to read intuitively. But there's a lot of angels, and there's like ascended masters, and it is a very spiritual deck. This is the Queen of Cups, and it's based on the Aura-Soma system. So if you know anything about that, which I don't, but I want to learn, then you can bring that into your readings as well. But it has, like, as you can see, the colors are amazing. So you could go off of color energy. You can do so much with this. There's two major arcanas. There's the outward journey, which is like the start of the journey, or the Fool's like original journey. And then there's the return journey, which this is the Devil return, which is the return journey is like the person realized, like when they've gone through the lessons, and now they're coming back and they've learned all these things, and they're realized now. So you can see the Nine of Swords is Saint Germain. So it's not Rider-Waite-Smith in some ways, and in some cards it is. This is the Page of Swords, Serapis Bey. Like, you know, I mean, it's based on the Rider-Waite-Smith system, because it has some cards are like very Rider-Waite-Smith, like the Eight of Cups is a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. Or you can see here in the Two of Pentacles how we have some of the same symbolism, but then there's also so much other stuff going on that you can go with intuitively. It's just incredible. And I love the colors. Oh my God. It's just like, this guy has been coming up for me a lot. King of Swords, Kuthumi. It's just so, so beautiful. Lady Portia, Six of Swords. I just love it so much. Six of Cups. Oh my God, how gorgeous is it, you guys? And I just love how, like, you really can find so much in the images. It's very chakra heavy too, I've noticed. There's like twin flame relationships in here. Sanat and Venus, Kumara. Oh my God, it's just so pretty. Ace of Wands, look at that. So I am so, so excited that I finally got it. I'm so happy to have it. Oh my God, I'm just in love. Orion and Angelica. That's the Seven of Swords, so you can see that's very different. Oh, it's just so good. So that is my baby. Okay, Sum of 2016 in a card is number 7. I have 2 cards. Lots of hard work. 8 of Pentacles. Lots of hard work in so many different areas of my life. In my tarot business, which I'm so thankful for. I just love it so much, and it has grown so much this year, and I'm so, so thankful for it. So if you have ever got a reading from me, thank you. I am so honored and so overjoyed to do this work, and I want to continue to grow it, but lots of hard work doing that. Lots of hard work on my health and on my body. I was working with a personal trainer for the last 2 years, actually, but this last year, I switched to a new trainer, and I really committed to a diet, and I can say that I have lost since I started, which was in May of 2015. Yeah, May of 2015. Since I started then, I've lost like 60 pounds, and I'm like so happy and so healthy and so in love with what I've done, but it was a lot of hard work. It was gym almost, you know, it was gym 5 to 6 days a week. It's been very consistent with my food, taking adequate care of my body in other ways, getting enough sleep, getting enough food, the right kind of food, drinking enough water, you know, all this stuff. So I worked very, very hard this year. And I did achieve some insane goals. So I'm so happy for that. And then the other card is the 10 of Wands, but not in a bad way. But I did feel this year like I was very busy, and I was very just like taking on so many different things at the same time. At one point this year, I was working 3 different jobs. I was just like burning the midnight oil. I had a lot of things going on, a lot of different things that I was focused on, but it was good because it was the fruition of all these projects and the fruition of all this work. And I brought it home, you know, I brought it to market. I achieved those goals. So I did feel pretty overwhelmed at times and pretty like, oh my God, how do I handle all this? Especially like towards August, September, October, those were like really intense months for me. But it was good. Like, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful. It shows that I'm alive, that I'm working on stuff, that I'm doing things. So yeah, there was a lot of this feeling and a lot of this feeling. And I'm very, I'm just very excited and thankful for everything that happened. But those were definitely my themes of the year, like hard work, hard work. Most worked deck in 2016 is number 8. I would say it's a cross between, or a tie between, the Rider-Waite-Smith in all its various versions. I've worked with, you know, many different versions of this, like, you know, just different printings, different editions, so on and so forth. So that one I worked with the most, and the Morgan Greer. The Morgan Greer was more towards the beginning of the year, like the first half of the year, I would say. I just love this deck. I mean, I worked with a ton of decks, but if you ask which one I worked with the most, it would be these two, because I did like very consistent readings with these two. And they're both Rider-Waite-Smith based decks. I do, you know, client readings a lot with Rider-Waite-Smith based decks, but that's true and not true. Like, I use a lot of different decks. I've been using the Lumina a ton since like October, November. That's definitely hands down in these last 3 months, I've used the Lumina like more than any other deck. But for overall for the year, I feel like I use these two the most, just because they're my like home decks. I understand them. They're easy to read with. I get the clear messages that I need. But yeah, I mean, I've worked with all my decks, and I've worked with a ton of them. So that's that. Top 5 decks on my wish list now. I can actually say that I really don't have any decks that I'm like dying to have. I had pre-ordered the Everyday Witch Tarot, and then I canceled that pre-order. I had pre-ordered, what else did I pre-order? Oh yeah, I had pre-ordered the Modern Spellcasters, and I canceled that one. I just feel really satisfied with my deck collection right now, especially after getting the Aura-Soma and after getting the Tabula Mundi color edition, which I'll just show you guys right now while I'm talking, because it's so pretty, and I wanted to include it, but it didn't really fit into any of the questions. But this is such a gorgeous deck. So after getting this one and the Aura-Soma and all the other decks I got this year, I just really don't feel like I need anything else right now. The one that is coming out, I think in April or May, is the Star Tarot by Kathy McClellan. And actually, I've been watching her work on that deck for like years, and I didn't even know that it was going to be out until I saw people talking about it, and I was like, oh my God, yes, I have to have that one. So that one I'm definitely probably going to be getting. I'm not going to pre-order it though, because what I've learned from pre-orders is that I pre-order a deck and then I see it coming out and I'm not as enamored with it as I thought I would be, especially when they don't show you a lot of cards. Like the Modern Spellcasters, I only saw like maybe 5 or 10 cards from it. And then when I saw the rest, I was like, ew, no, I don't want that deck. It just did not speak to me. This deck is so gorgeous though. How pretty is it? So yeah, I've been trying to, with brand new decks that are coming out, especially mass-produced decks from major publishers, like I can get those anytime. They're not going to go out of print. So I need to just hold my horses and wait and see, you know, what they're like when they come out. Wait for other people to review them and walk through them. And then I can buy them if I want to. How pretty is this? Here's the backing. Oh, it's holographic. Oh my God, so pretty. So yeah, I'm so excited about this. And with this one and the Aura-Soma, like I said, and all my other decks, I just feel like really satisfied. Like I don't need anything else. I mean, I just have so many. So that is my wish list. And I don't really have any Oracle decks on my wish list either. Yeah. So that actually feels good to say because I just feel like satisfied. I feel content. So now the last question is like the most personal, and I'm like a little bit nervous to share this, but it says number 10, most impactful tarot moment of 2016. And there were some with client readings where things turned out to be like crazy accurate, like predicting a pregnancy, predicting a gender, predicting a job, like very specific situations that I could think of. But for me, my most impactful and personal moment was actually just last week. And it was actually Christmas. And I was working with the Madame Endora's fortune cards and the Tarot of the Hidden Realm on my altar back there. And I was having a hard night, and it was late at night. Like I had wrapped all the Christmas presents. I was like watching some show on TV, and I was just sitting there thinking like how lonely I was and how I want a partnership. I want a love relationship in my life. And I want it to be like that true, deep, real relationship. I don't just want any relationship. I want the relationship, you know? And whatever, I'm not going to go into my whole philosophy about love, but I just want it. I just want it. And I was just feeling like pretty like down and out about it and kind of like sad for myself. And then I was like, you know what? I have had an attitude where like I don't need anyone, or I can do it on my own. And I was like, maybe that's what's like keeping me from attracting it to myself. Maybe I need to just ask for it. And then I've been going through this thing with Jesus lately where I'm like coming back to having a relationship with Jesus, but in a totally different way. Not like a Christian way, but more like a mysticism, Gnostic. Like I just believe in him, and like that he was an amazing master and teacher and blah, blah. Anyways, I don't want to go into that either. But so I started to pray in that moment, and I was just like talking to Jesus, and I was just like asking, like, I am ready. Bring me this relationship. I want it. I'm willing to say that I want it. I'm willing to ask for it. Bring it to me. So then I come to bed, and it's like maybe like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I decide to pull 2 cards. And this was literally like 2 minutes after I had just like had that prayer. I was feeling like super emotional. And I pulled a card from the Madame Endora's deck, and it was the key. Locked doors can now be opened. And I immediately started sobbing. Like I don't cry. I'm not a crier typically. Like I hardly ever cry. And when I saw this, I just like immediately started sobbing. Like it was like a body like reaction, like didn't even start off slow, nothing. I just broke down and started sobbing. Locked doors can now be opened because I had just asked. I had just asked for it. And then I pulled this and I was like, oh my God. And even now I'm like getting emotional. I like teared. I freaked out. I sobbed. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to pull a card from the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. And I was like, I hope it's something relevant. Like that would be cool. That's what I was thinking in the back of my mind. And I pulled the 3 of Wands. And the reason that this is relevant is because look at the picture. Like this is my hope. This is my dream. I want this. And even like the thought of having other kids, like I've pushed that back because my daughter's already 9 and it's like, okay, so do I have another baby at this point? You know, she's already like so grown up, and do I want to start over? So I've always said like, oh, I don't even want more kids. But like in my heart of hearts, in my deepest heart, yes, I would love to be in love. I would love to have a partner. I would love to have a baby with them. Like I want that. And so when this came up, I started crying even harder. And I was just like standing there sobbing, like clutching the cards to my chest like I was doing this. And I was just like, I was in awe of how I had just had that conversation with the divine. And then I pulled these cards and they were just so affirmative and comforting and like, yes, it will come for you. It's going to happen. And I just died. I died inside. And then I left these up on my altar all week until actually yesterday, and I just didn't want to take them down. It was just like such a special moment. I don't think I've ever had a moment like that for myself when I've like had such an immediate gut strong emotional reaction and crying like that. I don't think I've ever actually cried from a tarot reading for myself. At least not like, maybe I've teared up, but not like this. This was very special. So that was my most impactful tarot moment of 2016. And now you guys know like entirely way too much information about me, but that's okay. So that was days 1 through 10 of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge by Ethany. I will link her below. I will link those other videos below of my favorite decks, and I hope to see you guys participating. And I can't wait to watch all the videos because it was so fun last year. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye, loves.